Hi guys, hope you're well. Welcome back to the barn. So over the last couple of weeks I've had a good tidy out in here and moved some things about. Most of it's just temporary to get things off the floor and out of the way. I think my next job is, at the moment it's feeling quite dingy in here and the nights are already starting to draw in. So I'm going to put some lights up, which achieves two things really. First of all and primarily, actually gives me some brighter working conditions, but also it gets this other box off the floor with all the lights in. These are all the lights that came out of the small loft workshop. If they stay on the floor too long they'll end up getting broken. Now just for speed, as I emptied the small loft workshop, I took the lights down in one loop, so they're actually already all joined together, a little bit tangled, but that should mean I can easily put this up just temporary whilst I get the ceiling in. All I need is somewhere to fix them to. So I think what I'll do is I'll put a plank across from that beam across this beam, and then I'll just put them in across a diagonal stretch. So if I use just one of these boards for now. That one out of the way. Good thing about these is they just slide in. Hey, there we go. I can see now. Nice if we're all spaced out equally, but can't have everything. That's another box of things off the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lights and a little bit of cable. I'll just tidy them up and they'll be okay for the next few weeks whilst we get the ceiling in. Hello, Gracie. Oh! The next job I want to do is to put together my Record bandsaw. It's a fair old weight. This is the BS250. It's the one that I had on a little wheeled cart inside the small loft workshop. For the size of the small loft workshop, I think this was as big as I could go. In theory, I could go a little bit bigger in here, but I've got this unit, so this is the one I'll have. But this is a good little bandsaw, and I'm going to put it together pretty much when you buy it, when it comes on a crate. This is how you get it. And the table, which is cast iron, comes packaged separately for you to fit, probably because the unit's pretty much too heavy to lift around. I'm going to put it together because I actually have a job later for this, and it's more components fixed together and out of the way. It's got a bit dusty, so I'm just going to give it a vacuum off. If I remember rightly, this was the first tool out of the loft when I started emptying it. Took this out, dismantled the little wheelie cart and the Triton sand that was underneath. I just bubble wrapped the fence to keep it safe in transit. The front fend comes off for mounting. Now then, just got to remember where I've put my bolts for it. Hopefully they're in here. Most things ended up in here. The problem with moving is I can never really remember where everything is. Found them. Would you believe it? I've been through every box and all the sustainers up there. But I did realise as we were going through the box I've not seen the fence as well, so I've actually found the fence. And I thought we'd been careful with things. One of them, I put them in a safe place, and if it's in a safe place you never see it again. I did find some other bolts that I thought might do the job, but they're too long, so yep, they're the ones. Oh, my luck's changed. I found right spanner first time. So that's the table on. Next job, well, we've got the front off, is to put a blade in. At the moment I've got an 1/2 inch blade. I've got a 3/8 blade, which is new. So I've got two 3/8 blades, a 10 teeth per inch, coarser, so maybe that's about 8. I am going to cut some older timber, so we'll put this one in for the minute. Oh, hey, boing. Put the blade in, you need to take this out. And you need to make sure the blade is running the right way. If not, sometimes when you open them, they spring out wrong way around, like that way, and you've got to turn them around, but in this case it's right. Take the tension off a bit. There we go. And put the tension back on. This back in, then put the fence track back on, close the door. These doors have got micro switches on, so if you open the door or leave the door open, the motor won't start. Right, it will rip about 110mm. The 1/2 inch blade's the widest it'll take. Locks it off, and that's the fence on, and then that is the ripping fence that fixes on either in that position, so you can get under the blade, or in that position. Bandsaw actually, and my Triton routers come with a Euro style plug on with this adapter on the end. Which from them, there we go, look at that. Right, let's have a plug in. One thing I usually do with the bandsaw, and it's not strictly woodworking, is these Yolanzi camera lights. Unfortunately this one's almost flat, but I have these on the camera, but also the magnetic on the back, so I can stick them to the underside. You turn them on, stick it to the underside, gives you a little bit more light. See how sharp this blade is. Not bad. That's not too bad a cut. It's a bit of a rubbish old timber, but it's held its line fairly well there for what is probably quite a dull blade. I do have a little bit of oak somewhere, if I could just find that. Bit of homegrown oak. A little drift there, but actually that was my fault and not the machine's fault. This machine does come with a dust port. It's actually 60mm to a 4" or 100mm part. I'm not quite sure where that is. It is around somewhere, but I don't have a 4" extraction port anyway, so I really need to step it down. All in all, it's a nice little bandsaw. Can't quite remember how much I paid for it. Probably about £300. I'll just have to go and check that. I've had it since about 2019 probably, certainly before COVID times and more expensive tooling. I don't know how much they retail for now, but I will go and have a look and see how much they are. But for what I do, it's a perfect little machine. I like it's got a cast iron table. I like it that it's got a nice little fence, and I like it that it's got 100mm or 4" of rip capacity. It'd be nice if it took a bigger blade, if you could get a 5/8 or a 3/4 blade in. The 1/2" is the biggest one. You can get a 1/4" blade. I've actually never had a 1/4" blade in it because I don't tend to do a lot of intricate curve work, but I think for what I do, cutting tenons in 3" timber seems to be perfect for this, cutting wedges and things like that. Nice little bandsaw. This space here is slowly coming together. Now I've got some lights in so I can actually work longer in the night, especially as the nights are drawing in, and I've got a bandsaw is now operational, albeit I had to search through every box I have in the workshop to find the parts. But thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.